I think we're live. I hope we're live, and I hope you can hear me. As you can tell, this is not my normal place to go live from, and I'm not on my normal computer to go live from. So I have no idea how this is coming through. So if you guys could let me know if you can hear me first, and hopefully you can see me if you can hear me. Yeah, and I'm on a laptop that is a MacBook Air, and I don't do Apple products, so this is a little challenging. But you know what? Hey, it's a good time to talk about challenges in our business. I have found some workarounds. I have found some ways to, I can't share the screen. It will not allow me to share the screen. So we're going to make the best of it. And that's sometimes what we have to do in our business, right? We just have to go with the flow because eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, wherever you sell, they change things. They do things. They have glitches. They have problems. They have outages. And we have to work around it and still keep our business functioning. So I'm just gonna go with it. Yay! You guys are all saying that you can see it. All right, yay! Yeah, and the lighting's not so great. My daughter, I'm coming to you from San Diego at my daughter's apartment, and it is a 1920s apartment that actually it was not built here where it sits. It was moved here at some point. I think she said in the 1970s, I think is when it got moved here. But it is a super, super old little apartment. It's really cute. I mean, I love it to death. It's got the really like thick walls and the archways and the cornice molding, and it's just adorable. And it's also on a really busy street. So you may hear some cars and honking and trucks in the background as well. But I just posted, for those of you who are my Facebook friends, I just posted a picture of the view from her balcony, which is just amazing. But I sadly am going home tonight. And it's really a mixed emotion because on one hand, I'm really anxious to get home to Rachel and Noah, who have been holding down the fort at home while I've been gone since Thursday, and have had some stuff come up at home that I got to deal with when I get back there. But on the other hand, I'm really sad to leave where I've been sleeping in, and I haven't had all that pressure, that I have from running my business every day. And that's important too, you guys. If you are not making time for yourself to have a break from the pressures of your business, I want to really encourage you to carve out that time. Make yourself a priority. Well, that was not an easy thing for me to do. Let me tell you, I am work. My brain doesn't shut off from work. In fact, my daughter has had to chastise me a couple of times to Mom, just stop talking about work. But it's my work is I love what I do and I do what I love and it's all part of my life. But yet I see the importance of making that break. And we actually, she made me go shopping with her yesterday with no filming. We just shopped, no filming. And that was really weird for me. I've been filming for almost a year now, every time I go shopping. But then I'm working on packing up this morning. I realized I have this horrible, horrible dilemma. I could not fit everything in my 2 suitcases. So I'm going to have to leave some stuff behind. I'm coming back out next month for my birthday, and I'll pack it up. And she has made me promise when I come out next month, we are not doing any shopping. We are just going to enjoy some time together. So we're going to do that. Yes, Rachel does come in the chat. I don't know if she's here today, though. She may not have remembered that I go live on Mondays. But if she thinks about it, she'll probably be here. Yep. Hello from Idaho, Lady Hack Mom. Hello, Cheryl. Yay, you've made it to the live. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, this was longer than I normally come out here, and it wasn't, I didn't plan to be here longer. It was just that Southwest running their promotions. Long story short, I had a friend who was also supposed to come out, and then she backed out. So I was like trying to find the dates to come out around when she could come out. And the only good fares were to come out Thursday morning and go home Monday night. I usually go home Monday mornings and am home by the time I need to do my live. So the Monday just got switched from morning to night, but I usually come in on a Friday morning, and I came in on, it's all good. It's all good. It all worked out. It was a fun time. She dumped me off because she works from home, but she still works. She's working right now. She's in a meeting. But she dumped me off at this humongous antique store that we just kind of dabbled in the last time I was here, but didn't really get to explore it fully. So I spent 4 hours there on Thursday while she worked. And then she came and joined me, before it was time for them to close. and that's between that and the swap meet, I really, and my phone is beeping at me, I really found some amazing stuff. And I left a few things out to show you. This is the stuff that I'm not going to get home this time. I'm going to have to get it on my next trip. But the swap meet was incredible. I can't wait to show you the footage. That'll all be coming out this week. I have to space it out. I've got the antique mall footage. I spent almost $650 at the antique mall, if that tells you anything. And I filled 2 suitcases with that stuff and didn't get it all in. And I have a few pieces I'll show you. I have a piece I need your guys' help with this time as well. I bought it. The lady didn't know what it was. It's definitely got age. I know she priced it because that's just kind of like how she priced things. And I got so much stuff super cheap from her booth. I took a chance. I paid $35 for this item. I'm looking at it as if you can see it. You can't see it yet. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. I'm going to answer your questions that came through over on the Niche to Profit Facebook group. For those that are over there and posting, that's where I get a lot of the questions for the lives. So we're going to cover that. Let's see. I'm confused about the shipping. Do you pre-package every item before you list? I'll just answer that briefly. I have answered a lot of questions on shipping. If you go back through the live shows, we talk about shipping a lot. It's a really common question, Diana. But basically, no. I just know what my packing materials weigh, like my boxes. And this is why I don't dumpster dive for boxes. I keep consistency in my boxes. I know what those boxes weigh. I know how much that adds to the weight of the item. So I weigh the item that I'm, and now, okay, let me snooze the ring cam. There we go. All right. I weigh the item and then I add that much to the weight of the item. And I put in the dimensions plus at least 2 inches on each side to know what the dimensions are going to be packaged up. And that's how I do every single listing. Yep. And thank you. Tri-State Picker Mom over there has put the URL for the group over in the chat. Oh, and if you're watching this after the fact, we have a live chat going on right now. So if you can get here at Mondays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, was at 4 p.m. Eastern time, we're live and you can interact and ask questions right here. Hello, Yvonne. Good to see you. Yeah, but we talk about the shipping a lot, and I do want to do more videos like on the shipping. Yeah. Do I recommend starting with Etsy before eBay? Oh, no, I don't. It's not an either or. It's, what do you sell and which is the best venue that's going to bring you the most customers. So it's going to depend on what you sell. Yeah, I'm big on eBay. I'm big on eBay. I've been on eBay since 1998. So it is my venue of choice, and everything I cross post from my eBay listings, because eBay gives you the greatest ability to add the most information to your listings, I find, even like, all the pain in the butt item specifics and all that. It's a lot of guiding what really needs to go into your listings. And then that can carry over into your other listings. Okay, before, and I know you guys are going to keep asking, you hold your questions in the chat for a moment, because I want to address the questions that came in before we went live. And I have them. I can't screen share. I can't even like tab. So I have everything on my little trusty phone right here. That's why it's still making noise, because it's next to me. We had a question about from Debbie Holt. Debbie Holt, are you here in the chat today? She says, I know you say to use only white background for the photos. What do you do when photographing something that is pure white or clear glass? My pics aren't showing up well. Yeah, so a white background is the best for 90% of what we list. If you do have something that's white or clear, then you can use a colored background. Just make sure it's solid, because the point of it is that the search bots can recognize what the piece is that you're selling, and the white is the best for them to do that. So that's why we talk about that. Tracy Wilson asked the question, I sold my second item on Etsy today, yay, and it's my first to ship because the buyer did local pickup, but I'm confused because I have it set up for calculated shipping and the order said buyer chose standard shipping for $10 from Seattle to Glendale, California. How did the buyer choose when I have calculated shipping set on my listings? And is that too much or too little? So it's an Etsy question. I have to remember how Etsy's set up. So Etsy should have shown you, when you created the listing, it should have shown you the options for the shipping. And if you set up calculated, it would have shown you what the amount would have come to. And I know Etsy has two ways to do the shipping. You can pass on a discount to the customer or choose not to. I actually choose not to, and I will tell you guys why. It is because of the fees and the costs and all of that stuff that goes into what we do. There's no reason to pass that discount on. That discount gap covers our costs to do that shipping. So I don't pass that on. So somewhere in there, and I think those of you who sell on Etsy, do they have like the policies? Like, I think if I'm remembering right, you set up like a policy for your shipping. Even in the calculated, you still set up tiers. So you need to go in and look and see how you have that set up, because maybe at some point you did put in just a flat $10 in there. So you'll need to go back in and check that out. All right. So Brooke Toomey was going to watch from Australia. Was trying to figure out what time. Anybody know what time it is in Australia right now? I have no idea. She thinks it's 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. So I don't know. I would have to go Google that to go look and see. I guess that sounds about right, right? Oh, I need to know about apps for tracking and inventory control. I don't use apps. I use a spreadsheet. So here's what I do. And I'll have a lot of this to do tomorrow. When I come home from shopping, I go into my Google Drive spreadsheet where I have location purchased, date, cost of the item, what the item is. And this is actually where I create my titles. So, because I'm doing my research now, once I get everything in there, and then I put what price I'm going to list it at. So sometimes I'll go through and I'll just put everything in first. Sometimes I will research it as I go, but that's where all of my stuff is, in a spreadsheet. And then I pay a girl who remotely has access to see my orders. And she goes in and breaks out all of the fees, the shipping, what it's sold for, And that's all just kept on a Google spreadsheet. Very, very easy. And I don't pay for an app. Benita Bailey. And I haven't been looking. Anybody seen any of these names I'm saying pop up? Oh, Yvonne's going to post her shopping with George tonight. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. Joni says time is between 5:14 and 8:14 depending on location in Australia. There we go. There we go. Sydney is 8 a.m. West Coast is 5 a.m. Oh, so they have like a 3-hour coast to coast difference too. Very interesting. I gotcha. All right. Benita Bailey asks, what do you need for filing taxes every year? This will be my first year reporting eBay profits. Can you touch on what should be taken out in regards to self-employment and Social Security? Also spreadsheet examples and what to keep track of. So as I said, I keep my spreadsheet. What you need to keep track of is every cost in your business. What you pay for the items you're selling, your fees, your shipping materials. If you use a specific room in your house, you can deduct a percentage of your rent or mortgage. Yeah, mortgages too, right? Well, I don't know. Somebody tell me. I don't know. I'm not a tax expert. I'm just going to say I'm not a tax expert. We actually are going to have a tax expert on. I have reached out to Mark II, the CPA from Not Your Dad's CPA, who's very, very familiar with the e-commerce world and does a lot of the e-commerce people's taxes. So he has agreed to come on one of these Mondays. We're going to set it up and you can answer all of these questions direct. So because I'm not an accountant, I actually really hate numbers. But I just keep track, and that's what I do, and keep your receipts and just know everything you're spending money on, because yes, you do have to pay taxes on your profit. So what happens, you'll get 1099s from PayPal, and now if you're on managed payment from eBay, that shows the gross amount that you have coming in. Gross, that means like what the total of the money you got paid is. It's your responsibility to then tell the IRS, yes, but out of that, this much was shipping, this much was fees, this much was the cost of what I paid for the item. So you do want to keep track of all that. You also want to keep track of your mileage going out sourcing, your mileage going to the post office. All of that is tax deductible as well. You want to take every deduction that you can. Okay, that's the name of the game. Not to have to pay more taxes than you have to. But yeah, you will need to claim the income because you are self-employed, and it's not so bad. What is the name of the app where you can list in multiple sites? I talk about in one of my videos. I'm talking about it in a few of my videos, but that is List Perfectly. And I have a code down in the description of every video that I do. There is a code and a link to go over to List Perfectly. Maybe, mods, can you check? I think my code is, I can't remember if it's the niche lady or just niche lady. That's why I'm like, does it have the on the front of it? Anyway, that gets you 30% off of your first month. So you can test it out, check it, and make sure it's something that's going to make you money. I know I would not be cross-posting if I didn't have a tool like that. So spending that money actually makes me more money, because otherwise I just wouldn't sell on those other venues. And it does absolutely pay for itself. How do you account for yard sale purchases if there's no receipt for tax? You just write one up. Keep yourself a little pad in your car, and when you purchase at a yard sale, jot it down and just keep track of it. Just keep track of it. Yep. Okay. It is the niche lady. It's got the on the front. So the niche lady is what you want to use for the code over at List Perfectly. Okay. And then I had someone else ask a question, having some issues, but I cannot answer that type of question without being able to see an example. And I did ask her to give me an example, and I didn't hear back from her. So be sure, you guys, if you ask a question over in the Facebook group that you watch for a response so that you can respond to the response so that we can help you. I do get a little frustrated because I want to help and I can't help without information. And I feel like we get a little bit of the hit and run of things going on sometimes over in the group. Okay, so those were the questions that came in ahead of time. Got those answered. I'm going to show you a few things that I picked up at, I think most of these came from the swap meet. A couple things from the antique mall, most of it from the swap meet. I want to show you that, but I want to catch any questions I might have missed. So if I missed something, ask again because I'm watching the chat right now so I can find them. Yeah, we're going to be making a few changes in the Facebook group. For those of you who are in the Niche to Profit Facebook group, keep an eye because it kind of has gotten a little out of control going into the what is this questions. And while we want to help you identifying those things, what I really want is for you to learn how to identify them yourself. That is my whole goal, is to teach you how to not be dependent on anybody else for getting help with your business, just to start getting you that instinct so you know where to go and how to do things. So we're gonna do things a little different. I am sitting in a different room today because I am in San Diego at my daughter's apartment. How is the quality of stuff in California Goodwills? It's kind of like this. Now, believe it or not, obviously I grabbed these. I have two of them. So I grabbed two of these for $5.99. And I was really, really surprised when I turned over to find that they are Pier 1. I don't know if you can see that. Pier 1 Tiger Blue Goblet. Now, they were only $8 when they were new. But remember, Pier 1 has now gone out of business. So I will be pricing these for about $39.99. Yep. So yeah, good quality stuff, actually. Good quality stuff. Seems that I have moved, hold on. Seems that I've moved to items that are easier, lighter to ship. Was that just a personal preference, or did shipping just get too expensive since you started? Well, actually, if you watched my last shipping video, the one I put out on, was it Tuesday? Everything was like kind of big and obnoxious and glass and breakable. So it's just a matter of what is selling. I mean, I picked this guy up who is not going to be easy to ship. And so I'll just tell you about him. This I got from the antique mall, and he's probably not going to get home with me on this trip because I got no place to put him. I'm in a little bit of a quandary on getting some stuff home. He was $20 at the antique mall, but look at his construction. You can see the seam right here. Actually, you can see it better on this side. You see the seam. Here he is. This is age. He looks like he is teak, which most likely means he is mid-century. And his eyes, I don't know if you can see that, are glass. He has glass eyes. And all of the amazing detail on his little bridle, and he is anatomically somewhat correct, and all of those things. And he's definitely carved from wood. So yeah, I will do bigger, bulkier things if they account for the hassle factor. And the hassle factor is that it's going to take me more time, more supplies, more everything to wrap and ship this. So I have to be able to make a much bigger profit margin. So I paid $20 for this. I will list this for at least $100 so that it's worth it. It's worth it when I sell it, you know, with a $60, $70, $80 margin in there to make up for it. So it just depends on what I find out in the wild. But I do tend to try to find, you know, the smaller things. Obviously, it makes life a little easier if it's easy to ship. But I got a lot of little stuff on this trip. A lot of little stuff on this trip. Yeah, it is quite heavy. It is quite heavy. I don't have a scale next to me, but he's solid. He's a solid horsey. Yep. All right. You know what's really weird here? Oh, Rachel's in the chat. Hello, Rachel. I'm glad you remembered. Yay. Okay. I'm just kind of seeing if I missed some questions here. Help with your reports on eBay. What did you need help with? Did you guys hear that? My daughter's cat, Dozer, who I've probably talked about and shown pictures, he has an automatic feeder. And boy, does he go running when he hears that thing drop down food. All right. Let's see. Oh, I went back too far. Oh, let me address this from Sharon. I charge for shipping on my listings, but somehow when items sell, I have to pay. I have checks on my listings, but it keeps happening. Is there a glitch? Okay, so this is a matter of you not putting in the proper weight and dimensions. If it's oversized, even if you have the weight correct, you're going to end up paying. So you don't want to just put in the weight and dimension of your actual product. You have to add the amount for your shipping materials and the extra size of the box. So are you doing that, or how have you been entering your weight and dimensions? Because I bet that's the issue. All right, answered that one. When do you mail through UPS versus USPS? I generally don't use UPS. If I'm going to mail something larger that's going to go with a non-USPS service, I use FedEx Home. And the reason I use FedEx Home is those are contracted workers versus employees. So they take greater care, because if they have something that doesn't make it to the person they are delivering it to, it comes out of their pocket. It comes out of their pay. So I find that they take a bit more care. And the prices are pretty similar to UPS, even with eBay's discounted rates. So FedEx is my go-to for that. There are Pure One seeking groups where people post items they're looking for or looking to replace. You know, I don't have time to go hunt those down. I mean, there's so many groups for so many things. I just am so zealous of my spare time. I just list it. They can go find it. Janet, oh, you were answering someone else, but yep. Sometimes you have to branch out. Yep. Sometimes it's worth it. Pick 1 or 2 days of the month to go, out a little further away. Sometimes like I'll go out. We have some place called Boulder City, which is about a 45 minute to an hour drive outside of Las Vegas. So I will just plan that out, and I will make sure that I'm visiting several places when I go there to make it worthwhile. Let's see. Well, I don't think there's ever any general always pick up something. I think it's going to depend what it is. So if it's something though that looks desirable, something decorative, something that the price is right, like make sure the price is right. Like even if Pier 1 wasn't like a hot thing right now, the fact that those are blue opalescent goblets gives them value. So I paid $5.99 for the pair. Without them even being Pure One, that's $20, $25 all day long. So it's really just a basis of figuring out, is it an item that's going to sell no matter what? Let's see. I have been entering dimensions and weight, and it's still happening on larger items. So on those larger items, you really, really have to make sure that you are adding whatever box size you think it's going to go in. And I do that, like I say, add 2 to 3 inches around each dimension of the item, because those oversize are what's going to kill you on shipping. Oversize is where you're probably getting kind of sunk on it. Anything under the 12 by 12 by 12, you're okay. It's going to go by weight, but the oversized is really going to cause you a problem. So just make sure on those big items that you're really accurate in the dimensions that you're putting into the shipping. Oh, Vintage Curio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. And it is my pleasure to help you. I want to see everyone succeed in this crazy online selling business. It is saying that I am offering, so that if it's saying you're offering free shipping, then you're clicking something in your listing. So you're just gonna have to go back to your listings and go kind of analyze what it is that you're checking off in those listings that's making that. So yeah, if you're offering free shipping, then that would be why the shipping's costing you too. Then yep. Pier 1 went out of business. Pier 1 went out of business. So Pier 1s are closed everywhere. Managed payments, would I recommend? Well, whether or not I recommend it, it is something that is going to happen to every seller by next year. Everybody's going to be on managed payments, like it or not. It is just the way it is. And I don't have any complaints about it. Yeah, no. They make it a little difficult to do partial refunds. I still haven't quite figured out the little refund process if you just want to give customer back, a little part of what they paid. I got to figure that piece out. But other than that, yeah, no, it's been fine. It's been fine. Okay, I'm getting way behind in chat now again. You just got stung on shipping today for a mug. eBay said weight and box would be $8, but USPS insists priority mail, so cost $14.90. Price of mug paper. So let me understand. You said eBay said weight and box would be $8, but USPS insists priority mail. So did you print your label through eBay, or did you put like a flat rate in your listing and then take it to the post office to ship? Help me understand what your process was, because the post office, the counter price is always going to be more. You guys get an incredible discount by using eBay labels. And right now, if you print using the eBay label flow process, there's no surcharge. They are foregoing the surcharge that other places are charging. I think even Pirate Ship, you're paying the surcharge. Pirateship.com is another place you can go print labels online. But you never want to go to the counter and pay counter price. They will nail you every time. For a mug, even $14.90 sounds like counter price to me. It should not have been $14.90. You still get emails from Pier 1 with products for sale. That's interesting because they did go out of business. All right. I put in the weight and dimensions of the box. Printer died, so I had to take it to the, that'll get you. Yeah, you don't want to take it to the USPS. Got to get that printer fixed or get a new one. Printers are pretty cheap. I highly, highly recommend, you guys, if you want to do this as a business and you are going to start printing out multiple labels a week, get yourself one of the label printers. I use the Rollo. I love that thing. I used to have a Dymo. Wasn't as thrilled with the Dymo. This Rollo, it's awesome. My life will never be the same after using a Rollo. And there's not much that can go wrong with them. I mean, they just feed the paper through. It's a heat sensor thermal printer, so there's no ink to replace, so it's a little pricey on the front end, a couple $100, but on the long term, you're not You're not buying ink. You're not worrying about a printer. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. Yep. Post office is going to get you every time. I have not gone to the counter of a post office and I don't know how long. Yeah. I don't know that Rolos are you can find them used yet. Yeah, you can find the Dymos used, but not the Rolos because they're fairly new to the market. I just love mine. I love it. Yes. You guys are talking about Dymos. Okay, you want to see some stuff? Wait. You can put your label to your smartphone to print at post office. I forgot about that, Melissa. You're right. They do have that feature now too. Like you go into as if you're going to purchase the label and there's a way to just get even like a QR code that can get scanned at the post office. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh, they get you on the ink for sure. Yeah, Tiger Purple. They get you on the ink. That's the whole game. You know, the printer's cheap, but keep buying those $50 ink cartridges. Yeah. What else can I show you guys? Okay, let me show you my other antique mall purchases because I have one that I need your help with. I'm really trying to figure out this whole, like the scrolling on this does not work right. So I apologize ahead if I miss a comment. Rolo refurbished that are about half the price. Who's selling them? Rolo's selling refurbished? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, you guys remember the puzzle ball that I showed on a haul video like 2 weeks ago, I think it was now? Well, check out this baby. Check the size of this. And it is, I do believe this is jade. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's jade. It's multiple layers inside. It's huge, huge and heavy. And I don't know, how do you tell jade, guys? I'm pretty sure it's jade though. I know my lighting in here is not the greatest. Yeah, you think it's jade? Yeah, so I paid 20 bucks for this. 20 bucks. And not knowing anything about it, just knowing that I could get 40 bucks for this. Like, it's just one of those things where, yeah, like that's $40. It's all hand carved and it's got 1, 2, I'm looking how many layers it has. 3, 4, 5. It's got at least 6 layers. At least 6 layers inside. So yeah, 20 bucks. But then this next piece, let me show you guys. This is the one I need help with. So I went to this lady's booth who happened to be there working her booth. So I know the backstory. She's the booth that you may have remembered the last time I went to this mall, there was an area called Camelot. Basically a whole corner that was there was camel collectibles. And so it was that lady, and she had refilled the Camelot. And I'm like shopping and shopping. Well, it turns out she buys estates, and they all came from an estate. So she doesn't look anything up. She just goes like on gut on how she prices. So kind of her standard pricing was either like super cheap or $35. Like anything she thought had value was like $35. So I saw this in the case. Now, I don't know anything about this except that it looks super old. I mean, it's definitely got some age. The quality of the little guy on here, and I don't know if he would be considered a mudman. Would you call him a mudman? I don't even know like what you would call this piece. It's like a little triple vase. And then I think this probably was supposed to have like the maker's mark on it, but there's nothing there. So what do you call this? A gawa? No, it's not a mudman. Isn't it interesting? I did pay her $35 for this because the prices I paid, like for some of the camels, wait till you see the video and see what I paid for some stuff. No, he does not look the right color for mud mint. Yeah, but okay. Boy, look at, and he's all porcelain. He's all porcelain, and some of it is glazed and some of it is matte. It's like half and half. So I was really just quite fascinated by him. Are they a radish? I don't know. Okay, I have a cat jumping up on my suitcases right now. Dozer, what are you doing? All right, so this is turnips, radishes, gawa something. Okay, vintage mug. I'm like, no, actually, it's oh, it's Japanese. Japanese turnip man. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so I did pay $35 for that because this is how I learn. This is how I take a chance. If he ends up being worth $10, then I'm going to get, $35 worth of education out of discovering what he is. But I'm pretty sure he's worth at least $35. That's kind of like my gut feeling because he is an old Asian piece. Yeah, it is a little dimply. Maybe it was supposed to be strawberries. It's a good point. I don't know. But anyway, so I got that. And everything else is packed. You're going to have to wait. Sorry. Only because it was already packaged up coming from the antique mall. I didn't want to unwrap everything. Water jugs. Maybe. Okay. All right. Could I explain the difference between porcelain, china, ceramic? Good question. That's actually a really good question. It's actually one of the questions that I ask people who are potentially going to come and work for me is I ask them if they know the difference between porcelain and pottery. So it has to do with the materials that are made to produce the piece. Generally, porcelain and bone china are much finer, daintier material. I don't even have anything out here. But it's like what you think of like teacups and little dainty figurines. They're usually like have more of a high gloss glaze on them as well. Ceramic and pottery are a heavier, clunkier, like this is what I would call ceramic. It's thick, it's heavy. I'll talk to you about this in a second. Pottery it's made from clay. Pottery is molded into its shape in a soft form, and then it's fired, and then it gets a glaze put on it. So pottery has a much different look and feel than like the fine china and porcelain. So I hope I describe that. I mean, I'm sure it's not the technical difference, but it's really about getting your hands on the different pieces. And the same with glass, just getting your hands on the different types of glass is going to help you know what those things are. You guys are still talking about my little Japanese guy over there. Okay. Yeah, I don't wash anything. I don't wash. The most that I will do is I'll remove stickers, I'll give a wipe down, but I do not wash anything. It's the percentage of kaolin, is it not? That's a good question. I would have to go look it up. I just know the difference between ceramic, pottery, porcelain, bone china by the feel. It's a feel thing for me. A little bit on the look, but more on the feel. All right, since I already showed you this, so I don't get to bring this home. Jordan spotted this before I did, and I couldn't talk her out of it. So I have to wait until she no longer wants it and then hope it is still worth the $60 to $80 that it's being listed for on eBay. This is a Ray Dunn, as you can see there. Did pay $10 for it. She had a student discount. So paid $9 for it. But yeah, I found one similar that sold for $79.99. It was a little bit bigger than this one. So this is a really good piece of Ray Dunn. Apparently it's a limited edition. Doesn't say it on the back, but it's a 2019 limited edition from the listings that I pulled up. So yeah, got that. That was at a Goodwill. That was out of Goodwill, but she's keeping it. We did a lot of like shopping for Christmas stuff too. And then I got really excited. Okay, I'm gonna go on to now the swap meet. It's like, wait, were you swap meet or you were? No, this is Goodwill too. Okay, I'll talk about this one first. This was a Goodwill purchase, and I do not believe this is Murano. Okay, Murano. I mean, it could be actually. It's questionable. It's got some age on it. I'm looking at the bottom. I'm looking at the scratches. I'm looking to see whether it's cloudy or not. The cloudiness you're seeing is actually from scratching. And scratching is a good indication of age. Scratching happens when it sits on a shelf and it gets kind of moved around on the dust. You get those really, really fine scratches. So it could be Murano. I don't know if it is or not. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. If you list art, glass, aquarium, paperweight, sculpture, you're going to get the buyers. They love these things. Murano has to do with the quality of the fish. This one is really borderline. I'm really torn as to whether this is genuine Murano or not. So I will not use the Murano word when I list it. I won't need to. I'll take really good pictures, and I did pay $10 for it. So that came from Goodwill, which is kind of cool. And it's super heavy too, which is really tough when you're packing a suitcase. I think everything else I'm going to show you came from the swap meet. Pretty sure. Yes. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Murano though. I'm good with it. There's so many glass sellers on YouTube and eBay that you leave it alone for the most part, but it's so lucrative. You should not leave it alone. There's no reason to leave it alone. Actually, this overstuffed house, like I saw you pick up some really good pieces one time, so you know how much money there is in that glass. All right, I got really excited when I spotted this piece. You guys know what I was thinking when I spotted this piece, right? Yeah, I was thinking, but it's not. I knew that Fire and Light made a heart-shaped paperweight, so I was giddy excited. But the one that they have is more, it's flat sides, it's more built up square. This is not it. This is just a little art glass heart paperweight, but that's okay because I only paid $1 for it. I would have been super excited had it been Fire and Light. I know, right, Yvonne? So close, so close. Yes. And then I found a seller who had these pieces on his table. Let me remember what he sold these to me for. I think he said $8 for the pair. No brainer, right? This is Fenton Cranberry Opalescent Hobnail. Probably from about the 1950s. Yes, there is a bus outside. It's very noisy. I'm just realizing that as I'm doing this. It's very noisy out there. But yeah, that's a no-brainer. I will probably offer these up on my live sale because you guys love this stuff. That same seller had this piece. This is the Fenton Coin Dot Cranberry Opalescent. $8. Like, how do you say no to that? I'm just checking because I'm having trouble scrolling. So if I let the chat get too far ahead of me, have I ever done a live sale? Absolutely. Every Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Every Friday, we do a live sale. Come join us this Friday. Yeah, this Friday. I'm losing track of what day it is. Any advice for someone getting ready to do their first one? Yeah, figure out what your audience loves and offer that stuff for sale. That's worked really well. All right, let's see. You found out from the viewers. Yep. Oh, you're going to put it in your live sale next week. Ooh, hey, let me know when your live sale is. I'll definitely come and watch. All right. Let's see, where am I at? Oh, we went to the Kobe's swap meet here in San Diego. I'm not sure what that area is called. It's close to the airport. Can I talk a bit about being an eBay seller versus having an eBay store, and which is best for someone just starting out? So you will hear me say it over and over and over again. There are such distinct advantages to having a store. Even if you start with the starter store, which is $5 a month. Here's why. Why not start organizing and branding yourself right from the start? To me, that's very motivating. That is saying, I am in business. I'm committed to this. Let's go. So the store gives you the ability to create categories, which makes it much easier to run whatever kind of sales you want to run. I just say go for it. Even if you get the starter store, which you can get for $5 a month, go with the store. Go with the store. Start creating your brand. Let's see, where did you find these items? Oh, what I'm showing you now, Mid-Century Wasted, was at the swap meet. Yes, Bernice, Marie Vintage. Yep, at the sports arena. Yep. All right. Lorraine, no, I still have not gotten an email from you. I don't know what's going on with that. I just don't know. Lorraine, if you're on Facebook, gosh, send me a message. I don't normally respond to private messages, guys, because I get hundreds of them, as you can imagine. And if I responded to every single one, I would be in trouble. That's why I created the group, and I have an email. But Lorraine has been trying to email me, and for some reason it's not going through. So yeah, Lorraine, go ahead and send me a message. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Lois. Good to see you. Yay. All right. What else did I get? Okay, let's go on to, it was Murano Day. Now, the first piece that I grabbed, now I have not really experienced opalescent Murano. This has got to be my first piece. And it may not be Murano, although it's got all the elements of Murano. So it's a little bit of my mystery piece, but check it out. They had it marketed as a soap dish, which I guess it could be, but it's got the folded, edges, and it's like a translucent opalescent. And can you see the green in the base? So it's got like this summer sew thing going on. It's fascinating. And it's definitely got the Murano pontil to it, the smooth. I love it. Oh, can you guys hear that? We have truckage going on out front. We sit on like the main drag in Little Italy of San Diego. It's a little business district. I mean, there's restaurants and shops and all things, and her apartment is above a couple of shops here. It's really cool, but it's really loud. So I apologize for that. Yeah, really, it is. So this one I'm going to have to dig into, and I will dig into this more simply because I love digging into it. This is my passion, is finding out. I want to know who did it. I want to know which designer at Murano made this piece. So I got that. Oh, did I tell you what I paid? I think I paid $10 for that one. I didn't pay more than $10 for any one of these pieces of Murano. I was so tickled. Okay, check out this one. Looks like a fairly plain, but it's got this tinge of pink. And I know I have here, I'll put it up against the kind of my ivory colored sweater here. So you can really see it is pink. It's not just the curtain in the background reflecting. So it's this pale pink, thick, heavy. And again, it's got The scratches for me are important. I want to see scratches on the bottom. That only comes from genuine age. So the kind of the cheap Chinese knockoff stuff is not going to have those little fine scratches. So you be on the lookout for that. So you can see the pontil is the flat, smooth, clear pontil. But again, I'm going to have to see which designer made this shape. It's all about the shape. And this piece is heavy. That's the problem with this stuff and flying is these pieces are heavy, and your suitcase can only go up to 50 pounds. So what do you do? You wait till you come back. Now this one I don't think is Murano, and I'll show you why in a minute. I don't think that. Now it's got the controlled bubble bullicante. See the bullicante going, and they are nicely placed. They graduate from small and graduate to bigger. Very, very even, very high quality, but something is off on the pontil. See, it's recessed, and I have not seen Murano pontils be recessed like that. Now, I could be wrong. I may have to go talk to my friend Mary on this one. So I'm leaning towards some other company made this around the same time as Murano was making these. It's thick, it's heavy, it's definitely old, but I don't know when I paid $5 for it. So I definitely have room to find out. I can't get another suitcase. It costs, so I already get to check 2, and I'm going to cheat. I'm cheating with my carry-on. I'm hoping that they'll let me have my 2 carry-ons and a backpack. I'm going to squeeze in with it. But yeah, the third suitcase would be $75. So that would take on my profit margins. I'm coming back out here in a month. She's just going to have to keep it here for me. Let's see. Next, I'm going to save the best for last. All right. Then I spot this one. This is cased glass. And cased simply means that they take one layer of the glass and then they encase it with a different color. In this case, I actually think it is triple cased, meaning they went blue and then they went white and then they went clear, because you can see clear on a lot of these. So that tells me it's a quality piece. You can see the layers on the edge. It's got the weight. It's got the pontil. Okay. Normally what I have seen in the past is some of the cheap reproductions, they do use a white cased, but it is just the white on another color. It is not then cased in the clear. So that was an indicator to me that this was a good piece. Again, $10. And I really don't have values yet until I do a little more research, but generally the Murano pieces sell anywhere from $40 to $80. I sell a lot of them over on cherish.com, CHAIRISH, cherish.com. I tend to put my Murano, I'll list them on eBay, list them at the higher amount. They usually don't sell on eBay for the high amount. They will sell over on Cherish for that high amount. But I cross list, from the eBay information. This is the one I was most excited about finding. This, I do believe, is a Fratelli Toso. Pretty sure it's Fratelli Toso, or it could be Barovier Toso. I'm pretty sure it's Fratelli Toso. Fratelli Toso did a style called Zebrati, and I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that. That's what this reminded me of. And so you can see those stripes, and they're all very, very nicely done in a very uniform style. And that's aventurine silver that they use to create that image. You can see that. The pontil is smooth and clear. You can see that too. And this, it's really hard to see the scratches on this one, but they are there as well. This piece right here is probably an $80 piece. and I paid, I want to pay, I say 7 for this one. Like, I have to put on my poker face, like, and not show my excitement. A lot of the people who sell at the swap meet get things from storage lockers. They're not going out buying, stuff in a thrift store and taking it to the swap meet. They're selling en masse, like they just want to sell. And I was there later in the morning. It wasn't like I get there and I'm grabbing this stuff before anybody else can find it. They closed at 3, and I think it was about 1 o'clock when we found this stuff. So maybe they had a higher price earlier in the day. Nobody bought it. So happy me. I do that at estate sales too. They're less negotiable earlier in the day. So you wait and you go later and you get good deals. There was one lady, I don't have any of this stuff out here, but there was one lady who I was so excited because she had everything laid out in bins and boxes. For those of you who watch Jocelyn, the crazy lamp lady, her swap meet is always like that. Her flea market she goes to, that's what the dealers do. They put everything out there in the banana boxes and you dig through it. Well, that's not generally how the West Coast does it. So I was super excited to be able to shop like crazy lamp lady gets to shop. Like, that's exciting. And then imagine my absolute glee when the woman goes, anything 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents, anything 50 cents. I just started like grabbing and scooping up stuff. And I was like, I had this big pile by the time we were done. I got almost 20 pieces because I spent $9. Yeah, she threw a couple of things in for free. So it was so fun. So I got a lot of that. I got some amazing stuff. Like we went in, I was like, we're going to rent a wagon, because they rent the wagons up. I'm like, well, let's see, if there's anything good. We can always come back out and get the wagon. And like, we didn't make it down one aisle before I was like, we need to go get the wagon. And we literally filled the wagon to overflowing by the time we were done. Like, it was so fun. It was so fun. I haven't been to a good old fashioned swap meet like that for years. So I had me some fun. Yeah. I'm very excited, which is why I'm a little bummed to have to kind of leave them behind on this trip and come back for them next month. So it is what it is. I have plenty to list. And we'll talk a little bit about, I will not talk politics on this show, and I really won't get into, this is not doom and gloom talk. This is prepare yourself and your business for what is most likely going to happen again across this nation. And it's that cities, states are shutting back down. It is possible that our thrift stores and our venues where we get things is going to shut back down due to cousin Rona. And so prepare yourself, gauge yourself, set yourself up for the next, let's just say 3 months. Start thinking ahead so you're not caught off guard, and make sure you have enough stuff. If like things are still open right now, you might want to go out and start getting some things so that you can list over the next 3 months. Be prepared. Don't get caught going, I have nothing to list. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. You need to be prepared. In my state, it's going to happen. It's not an if. It's going to happen. The toilet paper has left the grocery store shelves once again. Okay, here's another funny story. So I'm thinking, last night, we're at the grocery store getting some stuff for dinner. And I'm like, you know what? I just saw pictures from home that there's no toilet paper again. So I'm going to get some. And I can cushion things in the suitcase with the toilet paper. Genius, right? I didn't leave room. I did not leave room. So I will have a whole thing of toilet paper here when I come back next month. It is about a 5-hour drive, Lois. It's about a 5-hour drive. I don't have a car that will make it here and back, and it would cost me probably about $200 in gas in my current vehicle if it would make it here and back. So it's not something I can do right now. The flights are so cheap. That's why I'm coming out here so often. Yeah, so those of you who have a death pile, let's call it a profit pile, a potential pile. I like that. Let's call it a potential pile. You know what? Not such a bad thing. And this is going to be the time. I think what we'll do, because obviously I won't be able to be doing thrifting videos, maybe we'll do some kind of listing challenge videos together. I don't know. I'm going to have to come up with some ideas. Going to have to come up with some ideas on what to do. That's where the shipping videos, the ship with me videos came from. Is on our first lockdown. I'm like, uh-oh, what do I do now? So that's where that came from. You found toilet paper today, but no eggs. Okay, what's with the eggs? You can't even you can't freeze eggs. Eggs don't stay good that long, so I don't get that one. Ugh. Rachel, yeah, we get to bring home toilet paper next time. Yes, it's suitcase packing. I had styrofoam this time. Had I been thinking, I would have started with the toilet paper, but I used styrofoam. I'm debating whether I'm going to redo the suitcases. I don't know. One of them's that borderline 50 pounds. You can freeze eggs? Really? I don't think I'd want to freeze eggs. I freeze avocados though. When avocados are cheap, I buy them up and I freeze them to make my guacamole. Yes. You can freeze eggs. Who knew? All right. Who knew? Look at that. Yeah. So we'll see. We just got to be prepared. Stay positive. Here's the thing. I'm going to promise you this, because this is what happened last time. Your sales will go up if we shut back down again. It's what happens. People need something to do. They go shop. Probably be another stimulus check will come out. People will spend their money. Yep. Oh, you volunteer at a resale shop and you buy a car full twice a week. That is awesome. That's excellent. Now let's get to listing. Listing. I am going back home tonight. My flight leaves at 7:30. So, yep, I will leave in a few hours. I would hope that the stores are more prepared this time, but you never know. I just want to know how did people run out already? I'm just saying. Okay? They all stockpiled before. Like, where is all that? Why are you stockpiling more? Don't do that. Yeah. Fortunately, we're good. I saw it coming this time, and I got myself stocked up. Not like crazy. I just bought 2 big packages. So I'm not feeling that little bit of panic I felt the first time. Yes. They gave it all away. Now they need it again. Perhaps. Yes. All right, guys. Any last questions before we wrap up? Again, come on over to the Niche to Profit Facebook group. That's what we're there for. You have some awesome seasoned sellers there willing to answer questions. Yep. So you just started, oh wait, where'd my chat go? Okay. You just started to buy vintage items to sell. Really hope you can do this well. Of course you can. Of course you can. Don't give in to the self-doubt. This is for everybody. That self-doubt will consume your profits. Be confident. You give yourself some slack. You have to learn. You have to learn the things that sell. Pay attention to what's selling that you're listing. List more of what's selling. List less of what's not. And pretty soon you're going to get to where you just know what to pull off the shelves and what to leave behind. A lot of people say, why didn't you get this? And why didn't you get this? And it's because it's not what my customer base tends to buy. So it's just learning over the years what sells for me. Something that sells for me may not sell for you or someone else. So you have to learn your niche. Had a hair tickle in my chin there. All right. Home since Friday, halfway through your day. Your set was shut down. Someone tested positive. Yep. Yep. It's going around. It's going around. It doesn't do any good to worry about this stuff, guys. It does no good to worry. No good to have anxiety. I mean, be careful. I've always been cautious about being around other people because I've never wanted to get the flu either. I've never wanted to get, I mean, nobody wants to, but I'm saying I've always treated that just as seriously as I'm treating this because when I get sick, I have autoimmune disease. I get super sick. So I don't want to get sick, but I don't want to live in a state of constant anxiety either. And so I'm just doing the things I've always done, keeping my distance. I mean, not handshaking. I don't touch you probably saw me do that. I don't touch my mouth. I'm very cautious about fingers to mouth, very cautious about that. I think that's one of the big transmitters that we aren't aware of how often we touch, our face. So just be cautious, use your hand sanitizer, all those good things, and build your immune system. Zinc, vitamin C, all of those things are good preventives because that just helps your body fight off whatever comes your way. So, yep. And I'm not scared about getting on the plane. Not scared about getting on the plane. I'm pretty sure I'll have the road to myself with the flight I'm taking. And they are recycling the air with outside air. What did they say? 2 to 3 times a minute, and using HEPA filters and all that good stuff. So the airplane air is it's probably safer than the Walmart air. Let me just put it that way. Yeah. And they're they're screening so heavy when you come through the airport. Flying's pretty safe. All right, guys. Everybody have a fantastic week of awesome sales, and don't get down if things aren't selling. They will pick up. Things always pick up. This thing goes in cycles and waves and all of that. So just hang in there, keep listing, keep making offers, do what you need to do to market your business. And with that, go be profitable and make it fun. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.